All right. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about is documenting patient and employee incidences. So the files can be found on the shared drive. They're under the employees or patient forms, part of the shared drive. And there should definitely be documentation that you guys fill out that is very concise, gives like the time, the place, almost like you were there. It's a very, very, very thorough documentation of what happened during the incident. Employee or patient incident reports should be very, very, very thorough. And the reason that this is an intro to TheraFit and not just in the therapist is because when an employee does fall or something, or a patient does fall, anybody that sees the incident must fill out an incident report. So, if the front desk receptionist is there and two therapists are there and a patient takes a dive and falls, then really there should be 3 incident reports. 2 therapists saying what happened when, if the one therapist was treating somebody and they saw the patient fall out of the corner of their eye, what happened after that. There should be a small incident report for that. If the front desk receptionist was, looking at the schedule or taking a phone call and then saw someone fall and put the phone down and ran over and helped, then it should be her account of what happened. And then the actual therapist that was treating the patient that fell should then be able to have a very thorough explanation of what happened on their end. So other than listing all the people that were involved or saw the fall as well. So this helps us out legally, and it helps the therapist out as far as their, state licensure is involved in everything. So it's very, very, very important to make sure you document very thoroughly and do it within 24 hours of the incident. So if you're an employee and you get hurt, 24 hours within the incident. If you're an employee and the patient gets hurt, 24 hours within the incident. No matter how big, how small, if someone gets hurt, we should have an incident report on it. So that all being said, there will be a time that patients get hurt, and the best thing that we can do is learn from them. To this day, we currently have 20 employees, and I don't know how many we've had in the years past, but everybody will make a mistake at some point. If you're working here long enough, we're treating patients that are vulnerable. We're getting them into vulnerable positions. They're weak. We're getting them into standing. They're weak. We're getting them up and walking. Their balance is unsteady. We're getting them up and walking. So it's bound to happen. There's 2 things that I ask. Really 3 things: that you write an incident report, that you're very thorough, that you get it out there, and that you get it done before 24 hours and then signed by a supervisor. 2, that you do not let it get to you. So don't let it get you down. There's going to be times that you make mistakes. We're working with people that are vulnerable, that have bad balance, that are weak. Don't let it get to you. You're doing a good job. I'm telling this to you before you even start, because it's, someone watching this video will have an incident report to fill out and a patient that gets hurt, and it might be the first time you've ever had one, and it's very sad. You'll probably go into a room and cry afterwards. I've seen it all. I've talked to lots of therapists after they've had a thing like this, and I've seen, unfortunately, lots of therapists pull back a whole lot in terms of how they're treating people, and that is not the answer. You're then pulling back, and you're holding back great physical therapy services from lots of people that could be benefiting. Instead, the 3rd thing that I ask is that you reevaluate what happened. What could you have done to better protect that patient, to not have them fall? Were you looking somewhere else while they were walking? Were you, not really anticipating the fact that they could have lost their balance and you just kind of had a light hand on the gate belt? Should you have been closer and pulled in more? Should you have had somebody else spotting you? Whatever it is, just really evaluate what happened and then try to put it in place so that next time it's not going to happen again. Heaven forbid, if someone loses consciousness or something happens, we go right back to our CPR and first aid training. You assess the situation. You administer CPR if it's necessary. You tell someone to call 911, and don't hesitate. You get that training for a reason. So make sure that you're using it. But again, if something does happen, please learn from it, and do not hold back from your patients because you're afraid of it happening again. Just learn from what happened, that incident, and how to better keep people safe in the future. But don't hold yourself back from doing great things. So, all right.